People are crazy. Can you just sit the fuck down and focus on one thing? I hate that. You gotta have 7 streams. I don't got 7 streams or nothing.
Yeah. Nah,
I don't.
You do one thing really great.
And I kill that shit.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's good? And welcome to the COSIGN Life. If you're watching this video, that means you co-sign us and we co-sign you. So here are a couple of ways to support us at COSIGN Magazine. Number 1, view the description below, click the link, and purchase an issue of COSIGN Magazine. Just like this one right here, physical. You can purchase this. Number 2, you can also support us by purchasing COSIGN merch. Hit the link below and it'll take you to all our past merch items, and we'd love to have your support and see you wear COSIGN Magazine.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of COSIGN Conversations. Today we're joined by a guru, but not just any guru, the trucking guru, Kierra Henderson. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. You know, I've been trying to get at you for like a year.
I know. I finally got it together. I'm finally here.
No, I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We were just telling you offline, you have a strong, amazing community. Like
I do.
I think one thing I could say just from, following you and viewing is that you changed a lot of lives, and these people really support you.
Yep.
There's a lot of people, who teach and who are education and want to help people, but not everybody has like that factor to really connect with them, right? So Before we even get started, I kind of want to start there. Like, what do you think that innate ability within you draws people to you?
Well, for starters, I'm the oldest of my family.
Okay.
The reason I start with that is because I've always been like a leader and kind of motherly.
Okay.
So I've always had to take care of people. So it just goes to my tribe.
So for somebody who always takes care of people, did you always have somebody taking care of you as well, or is that something new for you to have?
No, thank God I have a built-in best friend. She's sitting right there, my sister.
Okay.
She's been at my side my entire life. She's always taking care of me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So let's go back to your journey. Okay.
Yeah.
Before trucking, what were you doing?
I was working at AT&T right downtown.
Okay.
Working at AT&T, I was helping get fiber optics going.
Okay.
And I was there. I was a top salesperson. I did like some technical support type stuff.
Okay.
And then they outsourced my department, and that's actually how I got into trucking.
Okay, so it was a thing that they laid you off, or?
Yeah, they basically do what everybody's doing now. The VAs hiring folks in India for $2 an hour. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I didn't know what I was gonna do when they laid us off. And a friend of mine called my phone and said, "Get into trucking," and that's kind of how it catapulted.
Quick story, I applied, it was years ago, I applied to work at AT&T, but I think I applied for the wrong job because they were like, yeah, you got to climb poles.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I like flying, but I'm not doing heights to climb up poles and doing all that.
And in Texas heat.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Nah, I wouldn't have lasted long.
No.
I'm an indoor type of person.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Netflix and chill. Okay.
Yeah, Netflix and chill for sure.
All right.
Okay, so you got that call about trucking. Did you know anything about it? Or?
I had no idea. Actually, when he said get into trucking, I was like, well, I've always wanted to drive a truck. And he was like, no, fool. I was like, good, because I only have a driver's license.
Yeah.
So I ain't get a CDL. But once he said that, I started doing research.
Okay.
And I looked at who was hiring, and Schneider was hiring, and I went to go work for, you know who Schneider is, right?
Yeah, I used to do logistics.
Usually people don't know who that is.
I used to work with Ryder.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
used to work with Ryder Transportation.
Okay.
I was doing dispatching and analysts and kind of helping people find the best routes.
Okay, so you were a planner and a dispatcher. Got it.
Hated it, though. But
Why?
I hated the corporation. I hated the organization that I worked for.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't. You know what they told me one time? They were like, we don't know how to talk to you.
What were you doing?
I'm always a person, like I ask questions, I'm curious, right? So if I'm doing something for 2 years and it works and my job is seamless, and one day you're like, we're doing this now. Everybody else is like, okay.
You're gonna question it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's cool, but why? Like what wasn't working? Why are we changing? And it was predominantly, a white team. So they felt like because I asked questions a lot, I was going against the grain.
But you know what? That's why you are who you are.
Facts.
The people that ask why are usually the entrepreneurs, but not just a regular entrepreneur, but the successful ones. You got to ask why.
Nah, definitely.
Why should I be clocking in for you for 40 hours?
Exactly. Then I got to add in the hour drive to here, an hour back. So I need all that.
Yeah, you do.
I need all that back. So you're working at Schneider. What are you doing for now?
I was a basic old planner, and I was fucking everything up. because
Why'd you
I
say
had to
that?
lie to get the job. I didn't know. I had no experience, and they actually required that you have like a bachelor's in transportation or logistics.
Okay.
Shit, I didn't even have a high school diploma, but I
What?
made a nice little fancy profile.
Yeah.
With I made up somebody's job, said I was employee of the month.
Do they even check these things?
No,
Yeah, I
they
knew
don't.
it. Yeah.
They do not. They never do.
I'm about to get my master's.
You can. Go to MJ Designs. They got the seal. Put it on. Yeah, that's what I
okay.
did.
That's what's up.
Literally what I did.
Master's.
And it was hard because transportation was new and it was a learning curve.
Okay.
So I fucked everything up.
Okay.
But I noticed I was fucking up. So I started going in early so I could understand what I was supposed to be doing and staying late so I could understand what I was passing off. And that's how I became really good at my job.
Gotcha.
And so that's how I became an operations manager.
But what made you want to do this? I'm not going to lie. When I was an employee, like I would come in late, leave early, take extended lunch breaks. Like what made you like, you know what? Let me get my stuff together and actually attempt to become better at this.
I'll tell you, my children, being a single mom, not having any type of education, and I got a couple of felonies.
Okay.
So to even get a job was hard to do.
Gotcha.
So if I was given an opportunity, any opportunity that I'm given, I give it 110%.
Okay.
I didn't want to get up because I was working like 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. I was working long shifts.
Right.
So I had to go in at 3 a.m. and get off at, it was hard.
Right.
But stopping and quitting ain't never been an option.
Right.
So I had to. I got to do what you got to do.
Nah, that's what's up. So for me, my daughter was a reason why I had to leave because like they would always, so for them, they were like, if she had, like say she had something at school and I found out 2 days before, they were like, well,
You didn't give us enough time.
You
Yep.
didn't give us enough time, so you can't go. And she lives in Temple, Killeen.
Ooh.
So it's like, that's a 2-hour
That's a hike.
drive. Yeah, so it's like, you mean to tell me I can't go to any of these monumental events and
Yeah.
I'm already only seeing her on weekends,
Yeah.
holidays, summers. So like, yeah, I can't live like this.
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Kids will make you change. Hopefully, they make people
for sure.
change, everything. I couldn't imagine having to actually go clock in somewhere and missing my kids growing up. My kids are homeschooled too, but they've been homeschooled since before the pandemic.
Okay.
So I feel you on that, for real.
Nah, yeah, she's a freshman now, so I tell her I ain't missing nothing.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
Good.
But so when did you go out on your own?
Well, the Snyder story catapulted me from Dallas to Wisconsin. And then my sister wanted to decide to have a baby.
Okay.
And I had to come on home because I want my nieces to know me. So
Gotcha.
I came home and worked for Berry Family Nurseries. I used to be in Las Colinas.
Okay.
And that kind of put me in position to see things from a different side. I was working for Schneider, dealing with not owner-operators, but company drivers.
Okay.
So I never quite understood the shipper side.
Okay.
When I came home, I worked on the shipper side.
Okay.
And when I started working for the shipper, I started being nosy and seeing what owner-ops were making. And that's when it's like, okay, I got to do this on my own. Because they were making really, really good money.
Right.
And just for me asking why,
Right.
I asked the driver, what do you do when the season is over? Because they were making 6 figures in 3 to 4 months, and they was young.
3 to
I was
4
dealing
months?
with, yes. I was dealing with a young group of black dudes.
Right.
So I was like, what do y'all do when the season's over? Because it's from, I think it was like March, and then it trickled out. And then we did some Christmas trees, but that was it. And his response was, why?
Right.
Why? You want to dispatch us?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. Had no idea what he was talking about. You see how you said you worked for Ryder?
Right.
And you were working in dispatch? I'm thinking it's the same thing. They got the loads. We just kind of babysit.
Exactly.
It wasn't it. That wasn't it at all. That was about, I've been in trucking for 20 years. On my own, like 16 years, my own business.
Gotcha. So you started off as dispatching. Mm-hmm. Man.
Started out at dispatching for them. I messed that up, but that's the most money I had ever made in a week. Once I figured out that this is not working for another company, I'm responsible for getting them their loads and planning and billing and being their babysitter and, therapist.
Right.
I made $10,000 my first week,
In 1 week.
and that was it.
So back then, what was like the rate now? I think my friend has a trucking company, and I don't know why. I think he gets like 6%.
What is he doing?
His friends, like so it's 3 of them. So 2 of them put the finances in. So he gets 6% off each thing he dispatches, and then they give the driver 20% of the load.
Okay.
So it was like, is that the same percentage? Like, what's the percentage back then? That
10%.
10%.
10%. It's still 10%.
10%.
Actually, it's more depending on what
Okay,
you're
so
doing.
sure. Sorry,
He
Ziggy.
really is.
Yeah,
Tell him to, if he's not running dedicated freight, get off the low boards and do dedicated freight, then that percent goes up.
See, that's what he's been telling me. His problem is that he can't get, like, they haven't been able to get dedicated, so he's on a low board every day. But he does box trucks. Yeah, he does box trucks.
I'm gonna tell you something. One thing I learned from dealing with my friends, Coach Sheldon and Tammy, they do box trucks, Sprinter vans, and what's the other ones they do? Whatever, box trucks and Sprinter vans. What I learned from dealing with their community, it's the same thing. Transportation is kind of universal, whether it be box trucks, whether it be Sprinter vans, whether it be dry vans, whether it be dualies. It's the same thing. The concept is to get a contract.
Right.
What's crazy is I just saw Little Dirk talking to somebody on a podcast, and they were asking him, what does he do now? He said, trucks. I do trucking.
Yeah.
And he explained it. So he said, if I got 2 trucks and my manager has 8 trucks, then we come together and we get a contract. That, in essence, is how I started doing what I'm doing. Like, they had 8 trucks, and then I added to it. So then there's power in numbers. You go directly, you take the rate confirmations that you've been using to get the loads already, look at the shipper, call the shipper, and you get a contract. You got to come together like a fist. And then it's like, we don't got 8, we got 10, or we got 15. And then you get a bigger bag, everybody eat.
So trucking is one of those things where it's like, man, people look at trucking and real estate to, become entrepreneurs or get this started, right? So would you say it's got oversaturated, or you say there's never enough opportunity?
Everything that you own comes in on a truck, no matter what it is.
Right.
Even if it comes from like the intermodal, which is the steamships to the rail, and then everything come in on the truck. The airline, the airplanes, they'll drop it off.
Yeah.
A truck still got to pick it up. So what you think?
You're right.
Yeah. When the pandemic hit and we was locked up, who was moving out there? Trucks. It can never be heavily saturated. There's too many different avenues to get a bag in trucking. You can wash out trailers. You can actually take real estate, buy some land, and do drop lots. You can buy trailers and lease trailers out. There's so much you can do.
Gotcha. So everybody doesn't have to. I think everybody goes for like the vanity look. I want to own an 18-wheeler because that looks like I'm a boss. So like you're saying, there's other opportunities out there to which you don't have to invest as much as getting like an 18-wheeler.
I actually teach to do what I did. I became a multimillionaire from dispatching.
Just from dispatching? Just
from dispatching. Now, I own over 140 trucks, and I got a brokerage now, but everything started with dispatching. Think about it. I made $10,000 just off of that small amount.
Off of 10%.
Imagine what I'm doing now with dispatching hundreds of people with hundreds of trucks. You learn the industry, you get the knowledge, and you still get a bag. Everybody think that the thing is to let me go get a semi truck. Niggas be losing their ass. You don't know what you're doing. You can't afford fuel. You can't afford insurance. You can't keep a driver because you run off a low board. Yeah.
So that's crazy enough to say, man. It's my homie, so he says that all the time, so I'm not putting his business out there. To say that, I'm not putting his business out there, but he was saying, like, they're thinking about letting it go because they started off with 1 box truck, then got a second one, then got a semi. The second box truck blew an engine, $40,000 just to get the engine fixed. They're on a low board, fuel is high, so it's like, man.
See, and all of that sounds like a recipe for disaster. I always tell people, if you're trying to get into the industry, do your research, learn what you want to haul, and if you dispatch, think about it. Say, for instance, you got a box truck and your homeboy has semi-trucks.
Right.
I see what's going on with the box trucks. It's a little more difficult to get a contract. It's a little more difficult to secure a good driver versus the semi-truck.
Right.
So you can actually weigh what you would want to do. Why would you want to spend money? You don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You got to take the time to educate yourself.
And when did you get an education? Because I know that's part of, your growth. And that's something that people are actually sitting down and learning right now. Like, they want to be educated. When did you transition from, still doing, of course, entrepreneurship, but like venture into like the educational component?
When did I, say that again, what's the last
When did you
part?
transition into like doing more education?
What is it, 3 years ago now, Tiff? 3 years ago. I don't like people. And I never wanted to be the trucking guru. I know people on the internet. It's too much fake shit. So it's hard for people to decipher who's who and what's what.
Right.
So I already knew people was gonna try me. Again, I'm the girl with felonies. I will knock your head off your neck.
Right.
But they gonna try you.
Yeah.
So I kind of stayed away from, like, nobody knew I was as rich as I was. I was quiet.
Right.
Had a modest home, nice car. That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. I never had to pop my shit. So I decided to educate people when I made a comment on somebody else's post. I believe it's like a black business page.
Okay.
And I just was following them in my timeline with my feet in the pool. And they said broker agents make $65,000 a year and they don't have to go to an office. And I said, this is an amazing post because I support transportation, all things transportation, because I love trucking. It saved my life.
Right.
So I commented, dope post. This is true. Anybody needs help, let me know.
Yeah.
My phone started going crazy. People started calling and people started DMing me first.
Yeah.
And the more and more I talked to people, the more and more I felt like shit.
Wow.
How can you have figured out a loophole and just be sitting quietly by the pool, chilling with the baby on your knee? And people, like, one of the girls that called, she was whispering, and she was saying she had to get away from her husband. I told her to call me when he leaves, and we talked for like an hour or two, but she was my deciding factor. Like, people really need to know you can create generational wealth from transportation. Other races, other cultures, they know that, but we as a people, we don't. Everybody automatically think you gotta drive or be a broker. So I decided to educate people 3 years ago. It's a blessing and a curse.
Why you say it's a curse?
I'm a scammer. They don't like people that call themselves guru. And for the record, my sister came up with my name because I was like, what should I name myself? Shit, I know everything about trucks, whether it be flatbed, drive-in, reefer, oil and gas, milk runs. I know almost everything. Right. She said the trucking guru. So
great for marketing.
Yeah. Well, I never thought about that. I never thought about that. I just knew people needed help, and I had to hurry up and figure out how to help. So I did my course, put it out, and it sold out in like 5 minutes. That's okay. That's cool. That's cute. That's lunch money. The best shit comes from the calls that I get, the text messages that I get, the you saved my life. Even if somebody's not making $1 million, just by me going live and giving support, the best thing that I could ever hear is I'm a chocolate girl. And to see somebody like you in your position is straight motivation. Now, niggas be hating. Dudes,
man.
What? This was a once male-dominated industry. They fucking hate me. The bitch, they love to hate.
I don't know why men be like that, bro. Like I like to see women like win, women in power. You know what I'm saying?
It's few and far between because you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Men hate and I never really had female friends. I was usually just with my family, my sister, and that's it. But the support from women has been phenomenal. It ain't the women, it's the dudes acting.
They probably feel like, you taking, I don't want to say they spot, but like, you taking.
I did.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah, I did. I snatched it.
That's how it is. I realize too, when people are starting to hate, it's because they feel personally attacked.
Yes. And I go for niggas next. Like, the one thing that I don't ever want to happen is for somebody to be me standing at the end of the driveway, lost their job. I couldn't even afford a $650 course just to learn trucking. So I don't ever want somebody to stumble across somebody that probably bought my course acting like they know some shit and they not really supporting them. It's more than a course. That's why I created the tribe. You started out saying I have a phenomenal support system.
Right.
It's because I love and pour into my tribe. I treat them like family.
Right.
I knew that if I had a me and an actual support system, I'd have been a billionaire already. So I just created what they didn't have. So I go for niggas next. Any fuck shit I see, I'll be on it.
Yeah. Nah, as you should. Like, there's one thing of, doing something for the people, putting it out there, but at the same time, know that, you're going to respect what I do. Like, you just can't come me any types of way because I put in the work. You can see the receipts. You see the lives I change. So not only am I myself a multimillionaire, but I'm making other people millionaires.
19 millionaires created.
And a lot of people can't say that.
Nope.
A lot of people can't say
that. And
that.
I give away more courses than I sell. Like, if I get a lot of women that say, hey, I'm a single mom, I'm trying to save up, and here you go.
Yeah.
How can I ever repay you? Your success is how you repay me. So, yeah.
No, that's super important. I would say for like those, how do you deal with like the negativity? Because, as entrepreneurs, a lot of that, I'm gonna be real with you. I take everything personal.
Me too.
That's a negative component.
Yes.
But I take everything personal. So like, how do you deal with that? Because all that is coming internally to you. And sometimes I feel like I'm spazzing out. But instead of doing that, I might go play basketball because it's therapeutic, or I might just take the day to relax. But like, how do you deal with
I
like?
spaz out. I'm gonna go the fuck off. But I'm trying to work on it because I realize that God put me in a position to lead. And one of the things that I want to make sure that people understand is you treat people how you want to be treated.
Right.
And everything don't require a response. I'm learning that power is a whisper.
Okay.
I don't got to go off. I don't got to spaz out. I just show them. So what I did was I actually stopped selling my courses.
Okay.
Now I'm pouring into my tribe. Last year we did $1 billion as a tribe and nobody knows it.
Wow.
We did $1 billion worth of revenue from everybody just dispatching or owning a truck, and what we made was $1 billion.
That's amazing.
So we're finna do that again.
Yeah.
And instead of me going live, instead of me, posting myself, I plan on posting them.
Okay.
So that's how you clap back. Success.
Got you. You familiar with David Shan, Sleepers for Suckers?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna do something. So if y'all watch Sleepers for Suckers podcast, he be, testing his guests to put them on, right? So, you want to help make me another millionaire.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you really want me to show you how to do it?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, for sure.
I got
We
you.
can document the process. And
Okay.
everything. I'm with that. So y'all seen it here.
Okay.
We got witnesses on camera, people in here too. So
Bet.
yeah,
I got you.
That's real. So let's do that. But another thing I want to talk about too is, over time, people realize, like you said, their lives can change through that. But it's not an overnight
No.
journey.
No.
It takes time.
I will tell you this. I can do a lot of things. I'm very talented.
Okay.
Toot my own horn. But I wanted to do something that had a fast enough return.
Okay.
It's not overnight. You have to be consistent with it. But if you consistently do what I've done, it feels like it's overnight.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I made my first $1 million until I think my sister needed something. I went to the ATM and I looked at my bank account and I was like, what the fuck? Like I sat down.
There was $1 million in the account. How does that feel?
I called my then ex-husband, was like, you need to come up here because the bank fucked up something not right. And he pulled up and he was like, what the fuck you been doing?
Yeah.
It's like, I just been working. And it felt like it happened overnight. Maintaining it, that's the process.
Gotcha.
You can't stop. Once you get started, you got to go harder. I figured if I could do 10,000, I could do 100,000, I could do 50. Now I do millions a week. So you just got to keep pushing yourself and stick with it.
That's a good point. Let me ask you this: when you made your first 100,000 and your first $1 million, did you feel any different at either one?
No, I was still raggedy. I had a car that I called a Zoom Zoom.
Okay.
It was a little red Subaru because my little car broke down.
Yeah.
It had black tape from one side all the way to the other side. And it was a little stick. It cost me like $700. Yeah, it did. Money's never, ever, ever changed me because my father taught me not to be nigger rich off top.
Gotcha.
That means don't look like money, actually have it.
Right.
So I've always been a modest person. I mean, now
Right.
I'm kind of not, but that's because they have me fucked up.
No, let's talk about that though, because I'm gonna say this: it's good to see, it's motivational to see people like us, really making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying, changing lives. But then there's the other side where it's like, man, people feel like, man, you don't have to flex. I always think of it as motivation. I want to see people posting their cribs, their cars, because like, man, if she can do it, if he can do it, I can do it too. Or let me step my game up.
It's a double-edged sword. First off, I remember my very first live. My sister was standing there making sure my little hair was done. I ain't had no lashes on, no nothing, right?
Yeah.
She was like, don't cuss. Don't smoke.
Yeah.
She was like, act right?
Yeah.
So I was a certain way, and niggas tried me. So, all right, I posted my bank account, one bank account that had 92 million in it. Play with me.
Yeah.
So then it started, okay, we got cars, we got mansions, so what is it gonna take for you to wake up?
Right.
If you are a quiet, wealthy person, you'll get overlooked. And because it's the internet, unfortunately, nobody cares that you got a cute dish from Pier 1. Nobody cares about that. They want to see, like, I don't sell a lifestyle. I just show you what trucking did for me. So I got people that try to throw shots. Like we did a podcast for somebody and he was like, well, I don't have the Rolls Royce in the, and my friend was like, he has a broke mindset. Like people can either see it as, oh, you flexing, or people can say, oh, since she did it, I can do this. Like it's obtainable. I don't use my white girl voice. I'm not never, fake or phony. It's just me, a regular old black girl from Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
If I can do it, you can.
I think people should show that more. Like my cousin, he does custom jewelry, and he would get people telling him like, man, stop showing your money, stop showing your money. And I told him like, man, bro, show it. You worked hard for it.
Yes.
I remember when you were doing grills for like 180, You know what I'm saying? And then you figured out how to put diamonds in grills. And then you figured out how to make custom jewelry. Like, you was dropping a Cavalier the whole time, bro. Like, you went from a Cavalier to an Escalade to a Maybach to 2 jewelry stores. You got to show that growth, or people are going to think that you're not doing well, and they're going to continue to go to, you know, those other races to get their jewelry done.
And that's exactly what they will do. And I feel like people would be like, well, you're not humble. I am humble, but I'm very proud of what I've accomplished.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Like, they don't want you to, don't show too much, but then it's like, well, what you got?
Yeah.
Opportunity, come get it.
So let me ask you this, like, is the transportation community like a full support system? Because I know there's like different people. Like, I've seen like podcasts, like a Truck and Hustle podcast. I'll see Alex Good Energy. You know, so I see these other, like, a lot of different leaders. Is it like a supportive community, or it's like, man, everybody's kind of on their own vibe? You be honest, we here. You ain't gotta say names, but you be honest.
So I have a few people that I fuck with.
Okay.
But again, it goes back to I don't deal with fake shit.
Right.
I got to know that you actually fucking trucking for me to fuck with you like that. Like, you can't come on this bitch and you ain't gonna be on my page. You don't really trucking like you say you trucking. Because then it creates the whole, they scammers. Nah, bitch, I got my shit.
Right.
What y'all got?
Right.
It can be supportive. You just have to be selective with who you fuck with.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So I like to do this because, you know, we talk about, no matter what, Rachel, people like to talk about money. I like to see how far money goes, right? So I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Okay.
So let's say we got 50K and we got 620 credit score,
Okay.
but we want to get into trucking.
Okay.
What avenue should they take?
50K is not enough. 620 ain't gonna do shit. The only avenue that I'm gonna ever suggest that you do is dispatch. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
If you're dispatching, you're gonna get 10% of what they're bringing in, right? You're also going to build relationships with shippers. You're also gonna start to build relationships with carriers / drivers, owner-operators. That's all you need to be successful in trucking, whether it be dispatching, then you want to be a broker, or then you want to own your own truck.
Gotcha.
You see the relationships that you built. That's how I progressed. That was my evolution.
The relationship.
I started dispatching. The shippers started to ask me to take on more. I learned what lanes I did not like, what type of equipment I did not want to fuck with.
Okay.
And I had carriers. So if I got one truck and you got 10, I got 11 because I'm representing you and me. And I already got a shipper that'll fuck with us.
Gotcha.
So you create dedicated lanes, which is contracts.
Gotcha.
You don't want to jump out there with 50,000 because first off, you gonna lose your money.
No.
You got to pay for fuel. You got to pay for insurance. That's not enough.
Right.
The credit score, that's cute, but you still got to have the knowledge. So if anybody's trying to get into transportation, dispatch.
Is there a barrier to entry? Like, what do they need to start with?
Nothing. I started with my son's broken tablet. That's it. You don't need nothing. It don't require no credit, no certificates, none of that shit. No, you don't got to be certified to do that because you're moving authority using the owner operator, the carrier's authority. They got the authority to move freight. I'm representing them. The money goes to them and then they pay me. That's how it's legal.
Gotcha. Got you. So I've heard some, like, I can't remember what the term is, but like there's something to where like they would try to pay you the net 30, but you gotta have
So you use a factoring company.
that's what it's factoring company.
Use a factoring company. Yeah, that's another thing. Think about it. You got 50,000 and you don't have a factoring company because you don't know shit because you ain't educate yourself. So now you got fuel bills coming out the ass and you ain't getting paid because you ain't educated. You get a factoring company and they basically front you the money.
Nah, that's real. Cause like I said, I've been seeing my homie do it and I've been trying to pray for him this whole time.
Yeah, you better.
In this journey. I'm like, bro, I don't know what y'all doing.
Tell him, give me his information when we're done. I'll link him with Coach.
Okay. Yeah, he needs one. You know, salute to my dude, man. You know, I'm near for you, bro, but I hate to see him going through this.
I'll link him with Coach Sheldon. They're pretty good. They when they came to Dallas, they brought their people and they got some people that they've created 4 millionaires just from box trucks. So
I seen y'all did
Trucking Millionaires tour.
Yeah, I seen that. Salute to that.
Thank
Salute
you.
to that.
Dallas showed the fuck up. And it wasn't even just people from Dallas, but we sold that out twice. We'll be doing another one soon.
I'm about to say, when y'all bringing it back? Is it this year or top of 2023?
I don't know yet because they want to do Miami. I want to bring it back to Dallas.
Okay.
So we're trying to see.
Do both.
I don't want to. Again, I don't like people. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I always, whenever I do my events, I go above and beyond. So I'll be in the red. You know, ticket sales don't equate nothing, then I got to pay people to do it. I don't want to.
Nah, I was just talking about that. Like a lot of when I first started, I would purposely do events knowing I was going to be in the red because
Yes.
I know I know where it's going to go from there. And what's going to take from it, who I'm going to get. Like, you know, it's really more about
The lives you're going to impact.
Yeah.
That's why I went above and beyond for Dallas. We did. I had people pull up to the mansion. We did Sunday Fun Day. We had a big party. It looked like Six Flags in my backyard. Then we did. I think we did a meet and greet and the teaching. The teaching they were phenomenal.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Do you feel like people get more from the, you know, in person from you or?
In person it is because you get to ask me questions and I get to see a look on your face. If you didn't get something, I'm gonna ask you, you didn't get what I just said, did you?
Gotcha. Now that's good because, you know, I've done some programs to where like people just kind of skate through it when it's online. Because like you don't want to be, especially if like a shy person or timid person,
Yeah.
you don't want to stand out and be like, hey, I didn't understand this.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you anyway. And then I give people an opportunity. Like, if you paid for this information, you better get it.
Yeah.
And then they also sometimes put me to the side. So I like in live.
Yeah, nah. So one thing I like to talk about, like even though you're super successful, I know it comes with a lot of headaches.
It does.
Yeah, like
It does.
You know, you of course you're talking about having to spaz out on people,
Yes.
but is there anything you wish you could change about, you know, what you have to deal with, you know, industry wise or
Yes.
people wise? What would that
I
be?
wish people would lose the crab in the bucket mentality. I struggle with, when I first put out my course, the platform that I was on, because they get a percentage, they kept flipping the switch on my price. And I kept getting it, I snatched it off of there, but I know that my course is like phenomenal.
Right.
It should be $2,500, $3,000.
Right.
But again, I want it to be for the people who can't afford $3,000, $2,500, the me's, because back then I couldn't afford it. So my friend always tells me I deal with the vagabonds and the riffraff, but that's who I fuck with, the dope boys, the strippers. Like, I want normal people to become rich. I fuck the rich, you feel me? So the one thing I wish that I could change is people's mindsets. That poor mentality, it fucks everybody up. That's another reason why I just stopped, because it's like, I ain't your babysitter.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm gonna give you is a fucking opportunity. You gonna take it or not?
Gotcha. Did you ever have that poor mindset, or you always been?
No. And that's because my parents raised us a certain way. We were rich and didn't even know we were rich.
Okay.
So I saw my dad. My parents set us down and put money in our hand and taught us a principle from the word. And I watched our lives change from that one principle. So my mental's always been on point because my mama made sure it was.
Man, you know what we don't talk about enough is the correlation between, you know, money
Yes.
and mental health. So I was on a podcast and somebody said the whole thing, money can't buy happiness. And I said this, agree or disagree. I said money can't directly buy happiness, but money can buy you peace.
That's true.
And in turn, peace can afford you to be happy.
Correct.
Try having peace when you're broke.
Yep.
And you can't pay the bills. You can't, you know, I'm buying $5 hot and ready's, trying to make that last. Ramen noodles, you know what I'm saying, drinking tap water.
Yep.
So it's like, how do you feel about the correlation between mental health and money? Because I'm like, you can't be sane when you're broke because you're coming from a place of survival. Like, how do you even think? Like, honestly,
You worried
like,
about the bills. And
you're worried about everything.
I agree. I don't think that money buys happiness, but I do think that it allots you peace.
Yeah.
Because I can pay to get the fuck away from you. I can pay to just go on the island real quick, you know, debrief, turn the phones off. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do.
And you know, when it comes to money, like what are you teaching people about money? Like in regards to
I'm not.
Okay.
And that's why I started TTG University, so somebody else can. Shit, I was smart enough to have somebody manage my money for me.
Okay.
And it's just because of fear. Like, I have accounts that I don't touch. I set up to where I can't touch them.
Gotcha.
I plan for 3 generations, so my kids' kids are rich.
Gotcha.
And I have to keep it like that. So I know somebody that is in my tribe that's really good with money, so he helps me with that, but I'll fuck it up.
Yeah. What are you gonna teach your kids though?
No, see, he gonna teach my kids.
Yeah, he gonna teach everybody.
And to be honest with you, I made sure I made more than enough so they can't go broke.
Got you. Nah, that makes sense because I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs, and some of them are well off, but they don't know what to do with their money, right? So like they came from nothing. They came, they may have lucked up, or they got into real estate or trucking, but now it's like, man, what else do I do with
Now
this
what?
money, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like those are one of the things I want to make sure people talk about, because it's just now getting to the point to where it's not taboo to talk about money. People always feel like, man, you really can't talk about that. Like, that's my private finances. But it's like, we got to help each other out.
Yeah.
So I would like to, hear about that, because, man, it's a struggle out here.
What's the struggle, being broke?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. No, I'm just playing.
Nah, I mean.
Well, for me, you have to be honest with yourself and know your strengths and your weaknesses. If you know that you can't manage your little $400 check, then you need to get some help. There's too many things at our fingertips.
Right.
YouTube for free. Everybody online know how to do shit.
Yeah.
On the Instagram, Facebooks and shit, TikToks. There are too many ways for you to learn how to manage your money, for you to fuck your bag up.
Other problem with that too, I feel like people are paying for all these courses. They got the money, paying for these courses, but they're not executing.
And let me tell you something. Those are the people that get mad at you and call you a scam because they didn't execute.
They didn't execute.
Man, it ain't my fault. I just said this on my live. You're the scam. You scammed yourself. You scammed your damn self. All you got to do is what I showed you how to do. 19 millionaires created. Come on. I got people that even make $5,000, $10,000 a week. They was making fucking $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
My folks make people's salaries weekly. You could execute, but they don't. Again, that's that mentality.
Yeah.
They
Everything.
think they can give you a course and they want you to give them $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Everything goes back to the mentality. That's where it all starts with.
Yep.
So what's that one piece of advice you'll give to somebody who I know you said dispatching, but I mean like even changing their mindset. What's that one piece of advice you'll give somebody who's listening and watching this today and they're like, man, I'm decent, but I could be better. And I see a multi-millionaire in my face. I want to listen to her. What would you tell that person right now?
I would say that a lot of people have a lot of brilliant ideas and they don't never execute. Whatever idea you have, if you just execute, stick with it, you'll change your fucking life and you won't even be where you're at now. Give it a good 6 months. Consistently do something. People don't do that. People ain't consistent. People are lazy. Stop being lazy.
Nah, facts. They say it takes, 7 streams of income.
That ain't true. It's not everybody be saying. And that's one reason why I ain't want to do podcasts, because I don't got no fake deep shit.
Yeah, nah, I feel you.
Find what the fuck work and stick with that shit.
Yeah.
7 streams of income. What you gonna do when you don't even know how to do one?
That's what I was going to tell you.
Focus.
That's what I was going to say. I say more so like lock in on what you're doing. Be the best at that.
Yes.
Or if you do, like what I do with media, right? So let's say I focus on media, right? So I get money from advertising, right? Then I'm like, okay, how else can I get more money in media? Oh, I could do sponsorships. I could do events. That way I'm not doing 20,000.
But see, you capitalize on your one thing.
Yeah.
People are crazy. Can you just sit the fuck down and focus on one thing? Say, I hate that. You gotta have 7 streams. I don't got 7 streams of nothing.
Yeah. Nah,
I don't.
you do one thing really great.
And I kill that shit.
Yeah. As you should. As you should. I ain't gonna take up too much of your time.
All right.
I think we left on a great note.
I think so.
Kill that shit.
Yep. Kill that
Execute.
shit.
That's what y'all need to do. Execute. I'm tired of hearing people talk about they buy all these courses online and they're not executing. So, if you want to get into transportation or pure motivation, like I said, I go on a page sometimes just to, see what she's doing, just so I can what, KG? Stop watching Netflix. Get up and go do something. Everybody knows I love my Netflix shows. I'm going to get up and go do something. Oh, and don't forget, she said we're going to work together.
Yes, we are.
So we're going to become, help me become a millionaire. I'm like a mid 6-figure person.
Okay.
But I like to get like 7 figures one day.
All right. Well, you gonna do what I tell you to do?
I'm going to listen. I listen.
All right. Then I got you.
I'm a little baby that listen.
Then I got you.
All right, thank y'all for watching this COSIGN Conversations podcast. We're joined by the Trucking Guru. Make sure y'all follow her. If y'all want more information, go on her page, hit the link in the bio, subscribe, DM, whatever you got to do to get in
Don't
contact.
DM me.
Okay, my bad. Don't DM. Shoot her email.
No.
Okay.
Just follow and
Just
learn.
Follow and learn.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel you. You can DM. No, don't DM me either. Just follow and learn. And, as always, please continue to COSIGN Life when we're out.
Hey guys, what's good? Thanks for supporting COSIGN Magazine by watching this video. If you really enjoyed this content, please subscribe, like, comment, and share.